I go by the name Choma Twitter. I'm actually one of the stakeholders of Footmina, and I would say that since Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president of Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria, is doing well, I would advise Peter Obi to step down. Like, we should bring down the court case. So this is what we want. This is what we want. We want peace.
Who did you support during the last election?
I supported Peter Obi.
So you mean you are obedient?
I'm obedient. Yeah. But now I'm 35.
Oh,
yeah, I'm now for Asiwaju because he's doing what he said.
That's great.
He's talk and do president.
Yeah.
He's our new hope.
Yes. God bless.
Say Tinubu.
Say Jagaba. Say Tinubu. Yeah.
Contrary to popular opinion, I think I like this video, right? I think I do. Contrary to what so many of you think, I think I like the video. That's it. Again, this video is a sample of the mindset of Nigerians, especially those in the obedient movement, that the core aim of the group is for good governance. It again buttresses the fact that several Nigerians, what we actually seek or what we sought was that we wanted a government that will work for the general good of the people. That's all. So it was not an ethnic militia group. It wasn't a religious group. It wasn't a tribal-driven group. It wasn't a regional group. It was a group of Nigerians wanting good governance to be bequeathed to us as our civic responsibilities and rights, because we thought we deserved to be treated and led better. This particular video buttresses that fact. Again, that helps to say that maybe the obedient group were the only group prior to the 25th February elections that were actually positioned for good governance. Because if you can see obedient saying that they are not comfortable with the presidency, it means therefore that good governance was the sole aim of the pursuit for the mandate of Peter Obi. It also means that of all the candidates that were put before, the quest was to choosing somebody that would provide good governance, and they thought Peter Obi would. So now it wasn't about Peter Obi, it was about that the main interest, the main goal, the primary aim was for good governance. Peter Obi only became the better of all the candidates that were vying for the office of president. That being said, that's the first killer of those that were supporting Peter Obi. The second killer were those who said, aside good governance, they also wanted to query the values and principles and the entire process that provide the kind of leadership that would govern this country. You know why? The only reason where there can be a consistent, constant flow of quality leadership that will provide good governance is when we query the values and principles of the supposed leader and the process that provides that kind of leadership. Because if we allow emotions and sentiments to govern how we think about leadership, we would encourage people who do not have the values and principles to protecting this particular progress that we are making. And that's why we make progress as a people once with some one or two few individualistic leadership charisma. After a while, we go back because it is not been established as a process that must continue. So the only way that can continue is that you must have assuming, for instance, you have a father who provides food for you. Probably do not know how the father gets food for you, but you eat and you marry. And at some point you were told that your father was caught in robbery. What that means is that you may even have some issues with the law enforcement because aiding and abetting, conspiracy, you can go to jail for all that. And two, there will be a stop. There will be a stop of whatever you were benefiting. What if you knew what your father was doing? And what if it was in line with instant laws? It was in line with societal values and principles. There'll be a guaranteed flow of that particular benefit that is coming to you, that food, right? And then you will be sure that even if your father step aside and the matter falls on you to do that, because you've learned through a process, you can continually also deliver. Even in your own family, you have a procedure to follow. That's the point. That's the second. And then for those of us in that cadre we understand that it became also necessary that beyond just somebody coming up to provide quality governance and quality leadership, we're also going to consider what was the values and principles of that person. And that's why you saw us talking about character and capacity, right? And also we also want to get to know the process. And that's what Peter Obi is challenging in court, the process that provide the kind of leadership that will provide good governance. If that process is not streamlined, if that process is not queried, anybody can wake up tomorrow wanting to get to spaces, and then with one or two. I saw a particular story one time of a particular man who by privilege was in charge of an office in a particular organization. So somehow the man was suspended, or he went on leave. So they appointed somebody to be in acting capacity for that office. That person began to collect his personal money, took loans to be putting back into the coffers of the organization as part of profit, in trying to manipulate the minds of management to thinking that the other person that is on leave wasn't doing enough as he was supposed to be. So as God will have it, this person came back and the company agreed that this person that has been there, who has been taking money from other places to creating depression, should stay back. 6 months down the line, it became worse. But Biniko Agbana Murire, and everything got exposed. Values and principles. Some persons can even take from different places, can even maneuver, can manipulate, can create some form of drama just to ensure that it gives you what you think you are getting, for a while. But the aim, the motive may not be what you are thinking. So the process is as important as anything. So don't blame this lady. She wants good governance, and I'm okay with that. But we are asking, how do we get the process right? In the Western world, the process is the most valuable of everything. When the process is right, just anybody can get in, because of course there's a process to follow. That's it. That's the process. That's the process. Of course, if you go into deeper details of what you call good governance, you will realize that a lot of the things happening, they are dramas. The student loan, you mean that there is a family that do not earn up to 500,000 naira, and then, but they'll be connected to a lawyer that has served for 10 years, and then a civil servant from grade level 14 and above, who will stand as guarantors, not referee, guarantors. In case you're not able to pay back this loan, the person anybody will sign that for you. Let's be realistic. A lot of these things are not realistic. But of course, good governance is what we are seeking. So, and some other persons are thinking, and if you go deeper, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is actually preparing for a rerun, because it's becoming very obvious that the election will be cancelled. Of course, the evidences are overwhelming. There is no way this man, for example, is going to remain in power. The worst he can get is that the election is cancelled and there is a rerun. But of course, Labour Party is moving that his candidacy should be disqualified, and of course there should be forensic audit of the vote to remove it. So if there's eventually a rerun and there's no audit of the vote, it means that he stands a chance of getting. But if there's audit of the vote and his re-vote, which I know will be less than 3 million, of course, all this added one that INEC added will be removed. The man will be humbled. So all these things you are seeing now, they are strategies. Of course, penetrating Cross River State, penetrating Rivers with Wike, Cross River, of course, one of the new service chief, Akpabio in Akwa Ibom, inroads to Kaduna, the appointment of all these are strategic. Of course, the man is a mastermind. He's a political strategist. He knows what he's doing. And this doesn't in any way replicate. Let's leave all that. So it's fine. It's fine. So again, congrats to all of you Obidients that have continually shown in all ways that is good governance we are seeking. We only choose Peter Obi because we want good governance. And so it's okay. But we're also saying that the process must be queried, and that's why we're in court. Peter Obi will not drop the court case. He will continue to question the process, at least for the future of this country. Let's continue to do it right. My name is Mr. Common Sense, and please let me share this video. Let it get to as many Obidients, as many Nigerians as possible. I believe in Nigeria, and that's why I chose to campaign for the candidacy of Mr. Peter Obi. And now that we're in court seeking to query the process, I believe strongly that it should be allowed to happen, and the court should be objective and independent enough to give us a ruling that best explains the situation of this country as it concerns the 25th February 2023 general elections. I'll see you some other time.